Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And got this video that popped up on my, on my home page or whatever. And through the spirit, I was looking for something to go into, whether it be news or, stuff that's going on, whatever the spirit wanted to compel me to, go into. And, funny enough, I ran into this right here. And there's a couple of clips, from this guy, Average Man Unplugged, which I'm not currently subscribed to him. But for the looks of it, it's a compilation of different videos, mainly of these women. He comes in with a little commentary here and there, but just showing you right now that all right, women have and I heard somebody else say this, women straight up pissed in the dating pool. All right, and now we're seeing the latter end of it. All right, but tying this into prophecy, all right, according to prophecy, there's going to be a shortage of men. All right, and there's going to be a shortage of men, and that's going to lead, as we've been bringing out, to Isaiah 4:1. All right, and Isaiah 4:1 is really a telling sign of, how do I go about saying this, of a societal change. Okay, right now everything's still up and running. All right, women have liberty. They don't have to be under a covering of a man within the household. They can be living in these penthouses and in these condos and shit, living alone. All right, but as we're going to see here, all right, as many women as they claim that don't need men, all right, you got a bunch of women out here, not just the nigga woman, but a lot of these women, the average American woman has adopted the mindset that, I don't need a man, or if I do, I'll get a man when I'm ready and stuff like that, which, the Lord didn't create you for that purpose. All right, the Lord created you to be under a man. All this time period of women going from, if they even have a father in the household, which a lot of these women do have fathers. All right, but the men have been, we're in a society that caters towards the women, which is called a gynocentric society. All right, yeah, it might be ran by men, but they've given women all this liberty, all this freedom, and now we're seeing the latter end of it. So you see a bunch of men, with the introduction of the red pill and whatnot, and men are taking a step back and like, why would I continue to get finessed, over bullshit? Why would I lower myself to be with a woman that doesn't respect me and stuff like that? So, they're either taking a talents abroad via passport bros, or they're just not, they're just not dealing with women right now, or they're dealing with them on their terms. But what we're about to see, when I'm going to play the video, is the chickens coming home to roost. All right, because once again, these women that claim they didn't need men, all of these women, you can't find a bunch of videos of men saying, where these women at? Nah. All right, because women are readily available. I'd say they're more available now than they have been in times past. And due to feminism, men don't have to do as much to obtain a woman. All right, and it's just true. Don't fucking argue with it. All right, it used to be, back when marriages were arranged and it was a covenant between family, the bringing together of families. All right, a woman's or a young girl's father would go and find a husband for her to marry her off, when she reached the flower of her age. But now that you don't have that anymore, all right, you got a time period again of these women, not having a covering, just being out here, just doing whatever. And this is where you get them becoming a bunch of, baby mamas from, this baby mama culture. The Lord didn't create us to move this way. All right, the Lord created us to have families and whatnot, for a woman to be under the covering of a man. All right, for her life. A woman was not to be just dwelling alone. Just like the Lord said, a man, it's not good that men should dwell alone. That's why the Lord created woman. Okay, but just getting some build up to this video. It's gonna come full circle, and we're seeing the prelude to Isaiah 4:1. We're seeing the prelude to 2 Ezra 16, where it speaks about the women mourning having no husbands. We're already in the early stages of that, and society hasn't fully broken down yet. These tariffs haven't fully taken effect yet. What else? They're cutting these benefits through the big beautiful bill. All right, you women, you owe more student loan debt than men. All right, so we about to start getting these hey big head texts. We about to start getting these, these women about to try to spin the block on us, and the Lord has commanded us to use wisdom when it comes to using discernment on these women, man. Right? Because great death is about to, ensue, and women are natural survivalists, so they're gonna go, to where they feel that they can best survive. So without further ado, all right, let's hear this through them.
So we have been waitlisted for speed dating. I guess way more women than men signed up. So unless a lot of men sign up before the event, we don't get to go.
Do women have any options left?
Dating right now in 2024 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life.
I am out here wiping mounds of snow off of my car just so I can head to a speed dating event tonight that I paid $40 for.
Speed dating. You see how women pissed in the dating pool, man? All right, because they wanted to live there. And you see, it's not just Eve. All right, it's Edomite women too. All right, and they're older women. That's another thing. All right, because they've been told, they were beguiled by the serpent to think that, oh, you don't got to get married right now. You use your, damn what biology has to say. Damn what nature has to say. Damn the fact that your most, your best chances of having children and whatnot are when you're younger. Focus on a career. And when you're ready, you can freeze your eggs and everything. And when you're ready, you can have a family, you can have children. But guess what? Once you get to that age, your late 30s, or early 30s and stuff like that, you ain't got no children, you don't have a husband, and now you're trying to pursue that. What man is really about to go other than just a sucker ass simp, But a man, and then you want a man that's established, a man to be all about you. All right, well, why would he choose you over a woman that's younger and more feminine and more submissive to him? All right, and you women have tried to demonize a man wanting submission. All right, when that's what a man wants. All right, just like you women want a man that's a provider, a man that's gonna love you. All right, we want a woman that's gonna cooperate. All right, we don't. When we say submission, we don't necessarily mean just especially in today's time. We just want cooperation. All right, we don't want to have to tame a woman. A woman isn't something that's supposed to be tamed like a fucking wild animal. And the scriptures speak on that. All right, a silent and loving wife is a gift from the Lord, man. The scriptures don't say that for no reason. All right, but you women like to skip over that part. You don't think you need to be silent and loving. You don't think you need to honor your husband. You think your husband is supposed to just be all about you and your fickle ass emotions.
To play icebreaker games with random men. What am I doing? This isn't even worth it. What is this all for?
And men feel the exact same way, and I wouldn't be surprised if men are probably paying more to go to these singles events than women are, which might be another reason why, as well as the fact that why would those men want to pay to go to an event where they're more than likely going to get rejected by a majority, if not most, of the women there anyway. But I digress.
I'm going to say it, and you're not going to like what I have to say. You're not going to like it, man. You're not going to like it. Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it.
Forgot how
Where
useless
the real man at? Then you got a
are.
bonnet queen right here. All right, then you got a bonnet queen. But, Salaki to keep pausing it, but I must interject. Hey, this is what happened when you've given generations of women the ability to choose. All right, have they chosen correctly? Has anything productive come from this other than these women now they're not under pimps and Hugh Hefner anymore? And now, hey, it used to be, oh, stop objectifying a woman's body, but now they objectify themselves and they do it for a fee. All right, it takes nothing in today's time to see a woman naked, man. Literally nothing. They're really naked on social media already. All right, so what does a man have to really work for? What makes anything worth value is not easily accessible. Okay, so how can women be the problem? Women are literally everywhere. But what do we hear these women say? They're complaining about where the real men at. So the real men are the prize. They are and the real men are the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are Israelite men. Okay? Not no damn Edomites, because Edomites, they about to be losing in their own kingdom, man. All right, but a man that has wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's going to be protected during Jacob's trouble, that's going to be protected and have abundance when everybody else is out here starving. Those are the real men. Those are the men that these women are going to be flocking to try to obtain. But a lot of you women are not worthy. You're absolutely not worthy.
Nowadays, we just got to a speed dating event. Wish us the best of luck because we're actually really nervous. So let's see how this plays out.
A few moments later.
We showed him pictures of guys that were at the event. Your mom laughed. And his first reaction to the first picture was, whoa. And then I sent my mom pictures and she was just laughing emojis.
Tired of waiting for payday?
The Earnin app gets you paid as you work. You can get up to $150 per day with...
See, and there's clips like this that proves my previous point that I just made, but...
Y'all, there's a speed dating thing here tomorrow night for Christians. Should I go? I don't know. I'm so awkward.
Signed up for a singles event on Valentine's Day, and here's how it went.
Not even the Christian women, not even the women that claim they open the Bible are out here finding husbands, man. All right, you women, you pissed in the damn dating pool, man. All right, and the so-called good men, they don't want to play these goofy ass games with y'all no more, man. All right, men are opting out. If you don't want to play a game, you can opt out of that shit. You don't have to play it, and that's what men are starting to understand. All right, especially if you want intimacy. There's other ways you can go about getting intimacy. You don't have to put a ring on a woman's finger to get intimacy right now anymore. And who pushed for that? Women did. Women pushed for that freedom of choice. You know. So now what? And what have they done? What have they done? They didn't collectively, go and say, hey, let's make society better. You had a large portion of women said, hey, we're going to go thought off. You had women blowing up their marriages, blowing up their relationships to go be out in the streets. And once they get wore out by the streets, then they say, oh, where all the good men go? All right. So y'all are eating the fruit of your own way, as the scriptures say. And now we're seeing the latter end of it. The scriptures say better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So we're seeing the latter end of feminism. We're seeing the latter end of you women, having your liberty. And we see that nothing good came from it. And now you women are still complaining. So that's how we know we're at the end of a society, man. Because it's not just happening here either. It's not just an American thing. There's a channel called the China Observer. And the same shit is going on in China. Where they saying in some areas, the women outnumber the men 50-1. 50-1. And there's millions of women in China that are not married, that are mocked as old maids, because they have a term called Sheng Yu, which means leftover woman. All right, and a lot of these women over here are leftover. And there was a stat that came out that said by 2030, which Lord willing we're not here by then, but by 2030, nearly half of American women will be single. Half. That's crazy. And women already outnumber men. So this system does not work, man. We need Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to come back and fix this. And it won't be fixed in America. All right, especially not how America is moving now. All right, America's not going to be fixed. It's going to be destroyed. But what we will see very, very, very soon is the tables about to turn, man. And they're turning now. All right, the tide is turning in our favor, in the favor of servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. I had a dream literally this morning when I was asleep of Isaiah 4:1. I don't have to go into detail. All right, but the Lord is showing that his prophecies are coming to pass. And this is part of prophecy, man. And like the brother, Shakam, be saying, hey, we're going to keep speaking on Isaiah 4:1 because it's coming. And it's beyond just a man. It's not going to be like a damn rap music video. It's more than that. It speaks more about, the fall of society, the fall of economics, the fall of you women's stability, all you people's stability. But you women have been at ease, like it says in Isaiah the 32nd chapter. And now the Lord is flipping this shit on his head, man. And it's beautiful to see. But let's watch a little more of this.
You guys, this was a singles tournament at this paddle club here in New York City. You would play with different partners every game. It was fun, but there was more girls than there were guys. It was definitely like The Bachelor.
Look, while we're seeing these, there's more women showing up to these dating events than men are. Because these men don't want to get rejected, man. You women, you be out here just trying to reject men, but still complain that you can't find a man. So your ability to choose is just horrible.
To a singles event in Chicago. These were the fits, and after we took this clip, we passed a naked man on State Street, and that really set the tone for the rest of the night. This thing was at Spin, and it was packed, but the dating pool was grim. We did befriend two guys, and we went to a bar with them after, but I don't think they realized we were trying to friend zone them, and this is us walking home. I'll spare the audio, but never again.
And the reason why they friends
up. Man, these women out here cooked, man. Hey, and it's beautiful to see, and it's not... if you're hearing this and you think, oh, you hate women. No, we don't hate women, man. All right, I absolutely love women. The Lord created the Israelite man to love a woman. Here's the thing, though. We've loved women way more than they loved us, man. Okay? But now the leverage is about to be back in y'all court. I mean, in our court, Salakia. It was in y'all's court, but you see what y'all did with it? Y'all became, y'all 2-3 times divorced, 2-3 times over baby mothers. All right, can't keep a household together, but the Lord is about to put everything back in order. Because in the kingdom ain't gonna be no such thing as a single woman ever. It won't be a thing. Every woman is gonna belong to a man. All right, you're gonna go from your father's house to your husband's house, and there you're gonna dwell forever for the Israelite woman. But let's grab this Sirach chapter 26. All right. And that's another thing, man. The scriptures speak about, which I'm not going to bring it out, but a woman jealous over another woman, Because you woman, you're about to have to share a man. Each one, what's so crazy is how you women outnumber men, but you women also believe that you can have your own personal man. All right, so that would leave a bunch of women without a man. But let's get this. I actually want to start at verse 9, or actually verse 8. Sirach chapter 26 and verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatherer bride causeth great anger. And a lot of these women are just out here just, they be getting drunk all in public. They're gathering abroad. They flying out here, flying out there, getting ran through. That's not desirable. Right? It says, and she will not cover her own shame. It says, it says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. And video in the beginning of this video, which I had skipped past it, she was like, oh, look how good look how good we look. All right, but all you women look the same, and you've all adopted whore attire. All right, wearing sheer, leaving nothing to the imagination. So if you're leaving nothing, and men are very visual creatures, so you're already, giving men instant gratification of what your titties look like, what your ass look like. Even a lot of you women be showing your pussy print. Through your leggings and shit. You leaving nothing to the imagination, man. So what does a man have to look forward to? All right, a lot of these women aren't wearing bras. You can see right through their damn, you can see their nipples all hard and shit. All right, but then you want to call men pervs and creeps for looking. Men are visual creatures, man. That's why the Lord commanded that the women dress modestly and modest apparel. It's supposed to be for your eyes only. All right, that's what really gets a man, amped. If you're a real man, a real man don't want his woman just being flaunted out everywhere. Everybody can see it. She on display for everybody. Nah, she's supposed to be on display for you. Ain't nothing wrong with a woman twerking. If she twerking in your dwelling, then it's all good, man. But the world don't need to see it. But what they've done is the introduction of these damn phones. All right, these women can set up a camera and show their ass and show their titties and be all provocative, in the comfort of their own home. That's why the Lord going to take this internet away. He going to take these phones away. And you women ain't going to know what to do, man. All right, so we can see the haughtiness and the whoredom in a woman. All right, it doesn't take long to notice that, because all you women are dressed in the same. And you don't even know that you're doing it. Verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. All right, these women have abused themselves through overmuch liberty. All right, you're not going to meet a woman that, oh, my body count is 1. Or I'm a virgin. You're not going to meet them. All right, all these women about ran through as hell, man. And a man cannot be ran through. We don't have the plumbing to be ran through. Nothing inserts us. You get inserted. All right? Because y'all, I'm tired of these women and these weak-ass talking points. Oh, man can be a hoe, too. No. It don't work like that, you know. But the Lord is turning everything on his head. So you got to watch over these, you know, your daughter, you know, unless she abuses herself through overmuch liberty. So let's get this. All right, because really this goes into, you know, hey, there being a shortage. All right, and that shortage is only going to increase when war gets fully declared and they start drafting these men out to war. All right, we're going to see this play out. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16. And let's see where we at. I think I went up too far. There we go. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, all right, these young women, all right, shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. All right, this is prophecy. In the war shall the bridegrooms be destroyed. World War III. And their husbands shall perish of famine. So if they don't get sent off to war, a lot of these men going to be dying due to hunger, man. All right, and that's thus said the Lord, thus said the Bible. So if there's going to be a shortage of men, what does that lead to? Let's go ahead and grab it. We'll finish off here, you know. We're going to keep bringing it out because it's prophecy, man. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And that day 7 women, 7 representing completion, so it can be 1, it can be 2, all right, it can be 400. It says, shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. We'll take care of ourselves. All right, right now, what are the women saying? Oh, you got to do this for me. You got to do that for me. But in that day that's coming, all right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, when society has collapsed, all right, you women's lives are in danger. You're going to be looking for a man to have that protection. All right, and we'll say, we'll take care of ourselves. You don't have to do anything for me. I just want to, you know, it's going to say what they require. Only let us be called by thy name. To be called by thy name is to you know, be married. And, you know, when you marry a woman, all right, really you pop her. All right, that whole ceremony and shit, that's you know, an after thing. You know, when you go into a woman, see, these women all ran through and shit, so they can't comprehend that, you know, even these men, all right, I blame these men too. All right, but you can't comprehend the fact that, you know, the man that you sleep with is supposed to be your husband. It says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, our shame. You know, because they're going to be shamed. They're going to be shameful, man. So this is what we're coming into, man. And it's fastly approaching. We're seeing it day in, day out, quickly approaching. You know, and brothers are going to be picky, man. All right, brothers are going to be picky. And it's ultimately going to be that spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and that spirit of discernment that's going to be upon a man on whether he accepts a woman or not, especially in these times. All right. So you women, you pissed in the dating pool and now you're seeing the latter end of it. All right. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.